Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So, I got a request to do my top 10 favorite bands and top 10 favorite songs, not particularly from those favorite bands. So, it's hard to do a top 10, but we'll try. So, this is in no order whatsoever, but this first one, I wouldn't know what good music is without this band. They need no introduction. The Mighty Metallica. So, for those of us that grew up in the 1990s, this is one of those bands that was either really big for you or you just didn't like because you weren't into rock music. I first heard this band, oh man, I was like 7 or 8 years old, maybe 10, and they were debuting something off of the new album, which would have been Load. So 96, I would have been 10. But they then played something off of their earlier album, which was the Black Album, and it was this song. And as soon as I heard this song, I knew what good music was, and I was hooked.
I'm your dream, make you real. I'm your eyes when you must steal. I'm your pain when you can't feel. Sad but true. I'm your dream, mind astray. I'm your eyes while you're away. I'm your pain while you repay. You know what's sad but true. Sad but true. You're my mask, you're my cover, my shelter. You're my mask, you're the one who's blamed. Do my work, do my dirty work, scapegoat. Do my deeds, but you're the one who's shamed. I'm your dream, make you real. I'm your eyes when you must steal. I'm your pain when you can't feel. Sad but true.
So the thing I liked a lot about Metallica as a kid when I was getting into them is that the music was aggressive. It's not as aggressive as the stuff as I listen to now, but going from listening to what my parents listened to this, just finding it on the radio, I never thought I would hear anything musically that sounded that good. And yes, my music taste shifted into heavier things as I got older and explored the genre of metal. I didn't know that metal had all these subcategories. I spent multiple years diving into the subcategories, but Metallica was one of those staple bands that was in my catalog for multiple decades. It's still in my catalog. I've thankfully gotten to see them play live twice, finally. I wanted to see them on the St. Anger tour, but I wasn't able to. I wanted to see them on Death Magnetic tour, I wasn't able to. I finally got to see them live in 2016. Twice. And I had waited so many years, and it was worth the wait. Like, it's one of the greatest concerts I've ever seen.
I'm your dream, my industry. I'm your eyes while you're away. I'm your pain while you repay. You know it's sad but true. Sad but true.
So in my opinion, kind of why you're watching this, maybe, is this, for me, is one of the greatest songs ever written. The riffs in this song made me want to pick up a guitar and play. I played from 18 to 34, 34 now. I had to quit playing because of a wrist and a hand injury, which sucks, you know. I played for 15 years, maybe a little longer. But this song is the reason why I picked up a guitar, why I learned how to play the instrument, is because of this song. And overall, this album, the Black Album, made me want to be a musician. And ever since I can remember, you know, guys like Hetfield and Hammett have always been my heroes. You know, I look up to them as, you know, inspirational figures to make me want to be a better musician. And in case when I was younger, make me want to be a better person and strive to do good in all the things that I am aspired and good at doing.
I'm your eyes, I'm your pain, I'm your dream, I'm your eyes, I'm your pain, I'm your pain. You know it's sad but true.
Metallica basically has the patent on headbanging riffs. They have this formula that is down pat, that you know it's a Metallica song as soon as you hear the guitars. Like, this song and this album for me is all about the riffage. It's all about the guitar riffs. It's about the melody. And, like, they, to my ears, invented, you know, the will it chug, you know, the chuggy goodness that, you know, that metalcore, you know, loves to do. Like, if it wasn't for Metallica, in my opinion, we would not have the subgenres of metal that we have today. We would not have bands that are heavier. Like, this song itself is probably only in standard tuning, if not drop D. It's not being played in drop C or drop B or drop A. You know, they don't have a whole lot of extended range songs. You know, in Saint Anger, they tried to go heavier. They tried to do a little bit of new metal with death metal or whatever else they tried, but they had songs in drop C, they had songs in drop B, they had songs in A on Saint Anger. And I believe Saint Anger would have gone over better if the freaking snare drum would have been tuned properly and didn't sound like a garbage can. But unfortunately, that happened, and also there was a huge backlash from fans that Metallica was going heavier and not thrashier.
I'm your dream, make you real. I'm your eyes when you must steal. I'm your pain when you can't feel. Sad but true. I'm your truth, telling lies. I'm your reason, alibis. I'm inside, open your eyes. I'm sad but true.
So this is the beginning of our top 10, top 10 bands that really influenced me as a musician, influenced me as a music listener, and really kind of shaped my taste in music from early days till now. I started with Metallica because they are the first band that I found on my own as a young child and liked myself. There was no influences, it was just on the radio, and my ears were just like, this is what real music sounds like. I need more of it. And I got as much of it as I possibly could. I think, I'm going to date myself here, I think the first cassette I ever bought was the Black Album. I know the first CD I ever bought was the Black Album. And then from there we got other stuff, which we'll get into that later. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you're at, and as always, keep it metal.